Hey, welcome to the Virtually Speaking podcast, coverage of VMware Explore 2025. David, welcome back to Virtually Speaking.
Oh, it's great to be here, Pete.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying doing some of these interviews with you. I love the insight that you have, and I think we're going to love this one because I know you love to nerd out.
Oh, I do.
And there's a lot of AI talk this week, obviously, and one of our great partners is ITQ. Has been doing a lot of great things around VMware Private AI Foundation, and they're making it look even better with some of their own tools. And so joining us on Virtually Speaking is our good friend, Mr. Johan. Johan, welcome back.
Thanks for having me again.
Yes.
And in Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's great to be back at the massive family reunion that Explore is.
Absolutely. A little better than your trip to Kilimanjaro, I would imagine.
Definitely.
Well, better conversations.
I would say at the end of the week, I'll probably have the same mileage in my shoes. But we have altitude here. I think like we're at 600 meters above sea level, which is still far below.
Probably a little drier here.
Yeah, and drier. Yeah, definitely.
Well, yeah, listen, I know you guys have been doing some really great things at ITQ, and I want to talk a little bit about this GPU sizer that you have, but before we do, just give us the top level sort of understanding of how ITQ works with VMware by Broadcom.
Yeah, so we've been a 100% committed VMware partner, VMware/Broadcom partner for the last 15 years or so. I think we're in the top 5 partners globally. So we do originally a lot of professional services.
Yeah.
So on average, if you would call PSO so professional service from VMware back in the day in Europe, the chances were roughly 80% that you ended up with someone from ITQ. And we've been living, breathing, sleeping VMware technologies since everyone probably at their company saw their first vMotion.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while, absolutely.
Yeah,
and I know you were one of the early adopters with Private AI Foundation.
Yeah, so we started with our first AI-related engagements in 2018. Back then, it was kind of a lot of manual work. There wasn't any reference architectures for AI based on VMware technologies, so it was a lot of cowboying, if you will. We are in a lucky position. We have a lot of customers that are really innovative and want to kind of push the limits of technology. And in the last couple of years, we were again in a lucky position to work with some of them, not just building out their software-defined data center for the majority of their application landscape, but also kind of show the art of the possible when it comes to things like machine learning, things like deep learning and video analytics. And since the last 2 years, a lot of conversational AI.
And so you guys proposed this new AI model for GPU, API model to GPU. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I've been, the first time I think I was in a podcast, we talked about my first book on VDI design. And
I think that was the year of VDI, actually.
Yeah, obviously. 2018 was the true year of VDI.
Yes, correct.
There are a ton of similarities between AI and end-user computing because you're talking mostly to end users, a ton of different end users. Not just, if we now think about AI, most IT people think about data scientists, AI practitioners, but the reality is that a lot of our customers have AI demands from places in the business where they have no idea what infrastructure is. They have on average, what they do is they swipe a credit card, consume some kind of AI service, and improve their business processes, right? So we strongly believe in private AI as being the solution for data gravity, but also compliancy, security-related risks. And I've been focusing on sizing private cloud infrastructures for VDI, GPU-backed for a really long time. And while that was already hard, we saw the complexity of sizing private cloud infrastructures with GPUs for AI became even harder because, first of all, every single day, new models are released, and they all have their own requirements. They all have their own kind of behavior and parameters that come into place. And we did some traditional sizing for a couple of customers that wanted to run AI applications on their platform. And we just saw a ton of different parameters that constantly change. It's just complex. Whereas there is technology. You can build technology that can help you to simplify that. So there are some sizing tools on the internet available right now, but if you want to come up with...
Do they really work, though? Or
Sorry?
Do they work? I mean...
Well, they do work. The challenge is that, for instance, you need at least 20 different parameters that you fill into a form, and then you get a sizing out of that. And I had a really long conversation with Frank Denneman about this, because I had this idea for a while now. Frank has some because he is involved with product development as well from a Broadcom perspective. He was a really good kind of mentor in a way that he helped me with some good ideas. So what we built eventually is that every single model that's currently available on HuggingFace, and HuggingFace obviously is a partner of Broadcom, is retrievable from the solution. So you just basically type in a couple of letters, characters of the model name, and it automatically populates the tool based on whatever model you wanna size from. It retrieves all of the parameter information from HuggingFace as well. So you don't, as an IT admin, you don't have to think about it anymore. The only thing you need to think about is, what model do I want? I type it in. How many concurrent sessions am I expecting to land on my AI application? And based on the number of sessions and the context length, so the number of tokens per second you as a consumer of the application will see, those are the only basically parameters that you need to adjust based on a slider. So it's very simple, and the result is that you get a very clear idea of the number of GPUs and the type of GPUs you need to basically run the application on VMware Private AI Foundation.
So wouldn't this be, kind of related to capacity management and the initial discipline of capacity management that's going on within the enterprise and even FinOps? In other words, you're providing a tool that provides a sizing capability to get to the answer pretty quick in terms of the most optimized capacity that they need for a particular model. So wouldn't it kind of layer back into that kind of existing infrastructure and all those methodologies, things like that?
Yeah, definitely. But the number of models that pop up on HuggingFace on a day-to-day basis, it's so insane that to integrate that into a solution like VCF operations could be hard. And it's not there yet. So we kind of jumped into that space and see if at first if we could just retrieve the information and propose a sizing. We do have an idea of if it would be possible to generate some kind of YAML file out of with a proposed sizing out of the tool, and just populate that into VCF, and you can automatically deploy that that model that you need with the right application specifics, the right GPU specifics on the fly. That will be awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Automation would be the next step of this, and your ability to really kind of look at them, because the models are just going to get more numerous. There's more of them out there. And your ability to automate how you're onboarding these models, within a DevOps chain, things like that, would seem where the applications would be. You're able to kind of take everything to the next level, because it's no more guesstimation, which should drive me crazy when I used to run R&D shops, with the ability to get to the right amount of capacity, the exact capacity that we need for a particular model.
Yeah, and it's I think this is also one of the aspects where the private cloud strategy and vision of Broadcom really stands out, because landing an AI application on top of VCF now requires a ton of data. So you need a data platform to land it on. You need a secure platform. So NSX fully comes to its potential. The fact that you need a different consumption interface to deploy an application on it, VCF automation, bam. The whole FinOps side of things, you mentioned FinOps, right? We are working with a couple of customers that are doing GPU as a service for their students, for instance, a couple of universities. And the really cool thing is that they can now bill their students to consume GPUs instead of those students to take their credit card and swipe it to AWS or one of the other hyperscalers, and the money is gone. So now, they can consume those services from the university, and the university gets paid for that as well. So all in all, having the platform in place, but now also have a sizing solution in place to help determine how such a use case should be sized, I think makes it just more simple for IT to engage with their community to deploy these AI use cases.
Well, big announcements this week at VMware Explore as it pertains to VCF as a service, the private AI as a service. And so a lot of customers are, there's a lot of momentum moving towards actually taking advantage of the security that you get with something like private AI, which I assume this is going to bring a lot more business in your direction. And so your customers, are they using this tool? How are they doing that? Are they doing it themselves? Do they need to engage with you? Or
so
what's
they
the process?
need to engage with us, obviously. So it's currently in a kind of private beta. So we're working with a couple of people within the community and a couple of customers to first of all, validate whatever we propose from a sizing perspective also is validated by the customer. So that's one of the items on the roadmap. What I ideally want to see is validated configurations. So I propose something based on the parameters that a customer or a consumer fills in. They save it, and at the end of the road, I ideally want to see if it really works, if it performs like expected. And if that's the case, we can run towards standardized deployments. Yeah. And I think this is also where kind of our consultancy practice really comes into play.
Reminds me of like a VMware Fling back in the day when people would put these things out, and then all of a sudden I feel like next time we talk to you next year, this might be wrapped in already. This might be something.
This was a bucket list item. I wanted to write a book. Done. Check. I wanted to run a podcast. Done.
You wanted to climb Kilimanjaro.
That wasn't necessarily a bucket list item like 2 years ago, but I got the opportunity, did it, and I'm still here, so we succeeded. But being able to build a Fling, like an official Fling, that was a bucket list item once. Yeah. So, this comes very, very, very close. Related to some of the announcements you mentioned, there's going to be a pretty cool announcement around ITQ and Private AI Foundation this week as well. So definitely take a look at the VMware blogs.
Yes. Well, this will be out post-Explore, so we will have that information on the show notes of the podcast.
So we're an official partner of VMware for Private AI Foundation, so that's really cool.
There it is. You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, definitely.
Welcome. That's fantastic, man. Congratulations. Yeah.
So how are we going to solve your Hamon
deficiency?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about this on a previous podcast, but my doctor is definitely happier that I don't have high levels of sodium intake this year at Barcelona, but yeah, we're doing our best to get those sodium levels balanced here in Vegas. So But listen, Johan, this is great information for those listening. All of the links will be on the show notes of the podcast to ways that you can contact Johan and learn more about this sizing tool, but also to learn more about the partnership. And so, Johan, as always, thanks for joining us, my friend.
Thanks for having me. Have a great week.
You too.